So to be continued. In last video we have talked about simple past and its uses. Okay, and now we must continue our journey for the tenses. So in simple past we have seen its uses, structures, etc. And I have given you many uses also, where to use the simple past tense. And one thing was left there, that even the simple past is used to show the wish also. Wish. And after इच्छा जाहिर गर्नको लागि पनि simple past tense को use गरिन्छ. I mean, like I wish I knew him. I wish I knew him. I wish I were a prince. It means here is the subject, here is the be2. I wish I knew him. Structurally or according to verb, it is simple past, but it talks about the present time. Present time. Okay, मतलब म चाहन्छु कि म उसलाई जानो. I wish to know him. It means I wish to know him, or I want to know him. Here structurally it is simple past, but it talks about the present time. So this example also clarifies about the difference between time and tenses, which we discussed in our first classes of tense. Okay. Similarly, another example is I wish I were a prince. I were a prince. It also talks about simple past, but about the present time. Present time. Okay, but structurally it is simple past. Simple past means I want to be a prince. That talks about the present time. That's why time and tense is different thing, and this is also one of the uses of simple past tense. Okay, so we have already discussed the many uses, but I have written some examples. So generally, simple past tense, when it is used in a clause, when we use, usually we use when, but not every time. Other conjunctions are also used, like as soon as, like after, like before. Okay, like when I pushed her, she fell down. So here is subject plus B2. Here also subject plus B2. Subject plus B2. Cause and effect relation is there. The two actions were one after another immediately. Okay, one is cause and other is effect. And also sometimes as soon as is used. So I have written here some examples to show you how other words are used instead of when. So don't be confused there. When is only used. As soon as, even as soon as used. After also. After they had packed everything, they called a taxi. So the packing work is at first, and after that they call the taxi. Even before is also used. Before the patients had died, before the doctor came. So these are the uses of simple past, and some conjunctions, how it is used in a clause. Okay, thank you. Next, we will continue our journey for the tenses, and next one is here about past continuous. About the past continuous. Okay, so let's go to talk about, we begin about the past continuous. Past continuous. Okay, past continuous or past progressive also it is called. Past progressive. It is also called a past progressive. Past continuous or past progressive. So see the examples, it will clear you. See the examples, it will help. It will clear you. He was playing all the day yesterday. Okay. Similarly, you can see another example of she was watching TV all the time last week. She was watching TV all the time last week. Okay. So examples have been subject You can form the structure yourself. Subject A, B and B4. So, and here also subject A, B and B4. So what will be the structure? Subject plus was, where plus B4 plus object in affirmative. In affirmative. Similarly in negative, subject plus was, where plus not plus B4 plus object in negative. Because here similarly in interrogative, was, where plus subject plus B4 plus object and question mark is in interrogative. Okay, look dear students, the structure is very easy to remember if you know how to use the examples, and these are all the time yesterday, all the time last week. These are the time adverbials. So past continuous, and we are talking about past continuous or past progressive. So where to use the past continuous and past? Generally, past continuous and past progressive tense is used for those action which was in a progressive mode in past. The action which was in a progressive mode in past for some time. For such an action, past continuous tense or past progressive tense is used. Okay, generally. So what are the time adverbials? What are the time adverbials for this? So same time adverbials as it is in a as we have talked about in a simple past. Now last week, all the time last week. Okay, similarly all the time yesterday. Okay, last month, etc. These are the time adverbials used in a past continuous tense. Okay, now next we will see another uses. So general uses I have already told. For an action which was in progressive mode for some time in past. Okay, similarly other uses is what which we have studied in what you say simple past. See the example, like when he was crossing the road, I saw him. यो कुरा हामी सिम्पल पास्टमा पनि कुरा गरेको थियो. सिम्पल पास्ट पढ्दाखेरि पनि यसको बारेमा चर्चा गरेको थिए. त्यही कुरा यहाँ पनि लागू हुन्छ है. Like here is the subject, here is A, B and B4 is here. So past continuous, here is the subject and here is B2 and here is job. So simple past tense, which we have talked in a simple past tense also. So you can see when plus past continuous, when plus simple past and simple past. We have already discussed this. Like here what is the things? Two actions are there. Here two actions. Just I am recalling it. We have already discussed in simple past. Two actions. One was in progressive, the action which was in progressive mode. प्रोग्रेसिभ जो पहिलादेखि नै चालू थियो प्रोग्रेसिभ मोडमा दुईटी पास्ट नै भएको है. That is it is written in past continuous tense. Other action occurred there, the other action happened in during that progressive, that is written in simple past. This is all about this use of past continuous tenses. Okay, don't mind my writing is not so good. So this is all about the past continuous tenses. And when you talk about similarly past tense, while plus past continuous also use sometimes. Past tense past tense, no, plus while and past continuous. So this is also the another uses of past continuous tense. Like when you say, I wrote letter while she was listening to the radio. I was writing a letter while she was listening to the radio. So here little bit different यहाँ मैले के हेराउन खोजेको छु. Here is also I was writing a letter. This the first sentence subject and a before AB plus before past continuous. She was listening to the radio. Here also past continuous. So sometimes this too happens. That the both actions are in a progressive mode. Here writing a letter is the action which must take some time, or such kind of action. Writing a letter is a progressive action. So here also I was writing a letter and she was listening to the radio. Listening a radio is also progressive action. So both are here written in past continuous tenses. So don't be confused. You must understand the circumference or circumstances of the actions. Okay. Like she was cooking. She was cooking while I was bathing. यहाँ पनि हामी हेर्न सक्छौं. Here past continuous and here also past. So both actions are in a progressive mode. So when and while plays very important role in a past continuous tense. So these are the uses of past continuous, and it's all about the past continuous tenses. Thank you very much.